Well, hey, thanks for joining me today. I certainly didn't think I'd be doing this today on this Sunday afternoon, but I wanted to update you on a few things based on what's been going on with coronavirus. Everybody's concerned about it. And I want to talk a little bit about what are we supposed to do now for our businesses and just some ideas that I had. And I felt it was best to get it out by video. So let me just drop in with you here for a minute. Obviously we have a problem here, but we have two pieces to this problem. We have the actual problem, and then we have the imagined problem. And as we all probably know at this point, there's a lot of this imagination going on, borderline hysteria. Food stores are being raided, for lack of a better term. And there's a lot of things going on. There's certainly an issue, but we've got to look at it logically to really get a sense as to what we should do next. Because the bottom line is this is going to get better. At some point, this is not the end of the world. When I drove in here today, I didn't have to dart around all the dead bodies in the road. It's not a situation like this, as we know. But a lot of people are acting this way, and the media is perpetuating it right now. Yet at the same time, we are definitely in uncharted territory. As you saw, the financial market's just in a complete mess. Really jolted over this whole thing. And once again, that's driven mainly on fear, right? But we can't escape the fear. The perception is reality, right? We've got to work in reality. And this really affects us. It affects our employees. It also affects our customers. We've got to think all that through as we're going forward. So I wanted to share some thoughts today about how we might want to do it. First thing I want to talk about your employees. It's really important right now that we show them the love. Really show them that we care for them, care for their well-being. And we want to do that by telling them that, but then also showing them how we're going to react. Everybody is looking at you as the leader to see how are you going to react to this. One recommendation I would have is just some simple things like go overboard when it comes to cleaning and sanitizing. Do an exceptional job with this and let your team know that you're doing that. It's a way you can tangibly show them, hey, we care for your well-being. You're important here. And that's really, really important because they are hearing all this negativity when they go home every evening. And it's important that you want to reinforce to them that you are aware of what's going on and you're on top of it. So I'd make sure right away that you get all the cleaning products, sanitizing products that you need. Go overboard. Make sure you got plenty of these things and make sure you make some changes as far as how you clean things. And whatever is specific to your business, we want to make hygiene important. We want to make cleanliness and sanitation very, very important. Also, think about providing your employees with work at home options, if that's appropriate. And then think about how you can make that work for them. Things like internet speed at home, things like dual monitors at home, laptops or computers at home, whatever might be necessary. And then also think about the phone situation as well. And remember also, because some schools are closing, a lot of schools are closing, you're going to have employees with issues this week and next, unsure about childcare, and there may be some real problems there. So you want to come off and make sure that you're extending the message that, hey, we care. We understand. We are a business, but we care because this is a really tough time for people. People are really afraid. Once again, reinforce it. We're on top of this with all your employees. There's ways to do it, obviously in person, but a lot of times you can't do that based on your number of employees. Do it by video. It's really easy to cut a little simple video like this. I know this isn't the best video in the world, but it was very easy to do by email, by phone messages. I would recommend right now that there's daily communication on what's going on and what your company is doing, what are the steps you're taking with your employees every day. Also think about a liberal leave policy, because remember guys, we're gonna get through this, right? And we wanna keep our people for a long, long, long time. That's the key to keeping your business. One of the big keys to keeping your business successful is keeping your employees for a long time. And the way you react now will ring loud and long in their ears. Okay, make sure that you're looking at this from a perspective of compassion and caring for them. That's very, very important. So think about a liberal leave policy. Walk them through what that actually looks like. Make sure that they're feeling good about not coming in if they're sick or if they have issues with the kids. You want to make sure that you're bending over backwards wherever possible. Next thing is your customers. In a nutshell, you want to be as close to them as you can possibly be. Also, you want to communicate with them what you're doing. and not in the way that's the same crap that everybody's putting out. You've probably received 20 to 50 kind of standard emails about COVID-19, washing your hands and all, and that's important, but we've all heard that already. We get that from the media. Nobody wants to see you putting that out, certainly not your customers, not a 12 paragraph detailing of hand washing and all the other things that you've heard from every other media outlet out there. They don't want that. I'd recommend short but pointed. Focus on them. How does this affect them regarding your business? And then what are you going to do to take care of them? We want to show the customers the love too. What steps are you taking? Here's some ideas. Once again, most of my ideas aren't original. I get them from other people. Some ideas that you might want to let people know about, because you want to do things to protect your customers, but then also you need to communicate that to them as well. They need to know, to be able to feel good about continuing to work with you and not being fearful, because once again, they're getting that 24/7 media telling them that everything is going to hell in a handbasket this week. So here's some ideas that you might want to communicate. Remember, I keep it short, not this generic nonsense that you hear from everybody else. All they really want to hear about is what you are doing from them. So here's some things. Maybe just list out, here's some of the things that we're doing. For instance, and these some of these things we're doing here at our operation as well. Sanitizing all bathrooms 3 times a day. Sanitizing all door handles 8 times per day. Creating a no handshake environment. Offer video meetings, that's another thing you can do. Phone meetings, things of that nature. You could do delivery, home delivery if that's appropriate. But you want to keep close to your customers. Like I said, I would make sure you are contacting them about once every week or two. Short though, specific to them, not regurgitated stuff that they're hearing from everybody else. And lastly, you want to protect yourself and your business. This is important. And once again, I'm not going to go over all these procedures that are good, but you've already heard about that, as far as hand washing and things like that. But there are some practical things, because this market is tanked financially, and there are some things we're going to take a look at. First thing, should you be refinancing any of your mortgages? Because there's been a precipitous drop in rates. They went down really low last week. They've come up a little bit, but it's something to keep an eye on. There might be an opportunity for you to refinance. I would expect a severe downturn in the overall economy, but short in duration. People are going nuts now. We can't live like this forever. Hopefully things will turn around just as quickly, or maybe not just as quickly, but hopefully very quickly. This could only last a number of weeks possibly, but we can't be sure. But let's be real about this. This is going to affect everybody, no matter what kind of business or practice you have. There's going to be an effect for you, and it's going to be more than just a week or two. Also, monitor the leading indicators of your business a little sooner than you typically would. Remember, you want to stay really, really close to what's going on. You want to see, the number of customers today, the sales per day. Maybe just looked at them before every week or every month. But I'd stay on top of that stuff a lot quicker. You want an early warning system, because you may need to act very quickly based on the type of business you have. So I'd make sure you look at those leading indicators daily going forward. This is the last piece I hate to talk about, but it is very, very important. I learned this a long time ago from one of my mentors. They need to be slow to hire and fast to fire. And what do I mean by that? You need to prepare for a lot of different scenarios. Some of them not good. One thing you want to do right now is be thinking about your employees. We don't want to lose any of our employees to layoffs or furloughs, but we must be ready. Our job is to look ahead and to plan for uncertainty, and we know there's uncertainty. So one thing I'd do right now, and this is not going to be popular, I'd make the list, meaning the list of all your employees based on the most valuable down to the least. That's important. That's in case you need to make some move later. You've already thought that through with a cool head. Not pleasant, but it's something that needs to be done, because companies that last through downturns, whether this downturn is a quarter or whether it's 2 years, and I think it's probably going to be on the shorter end of that, but regardless, the companies that do well are quick to make adjustments in costs where necessary, and obviously employees are our biggest cost. So let's just think that through, and also think about how we can make our employees more efficient and effective here in the short term. But set your expectations right. all this cleaning and sanitizing and stuff, it's going to take time. You're going to be less efficient in the short term, and you're going to have all this communication that needs to take place. You're going to want to be loving on your employees. That takes time, and so it's important. But I would think about doing that. In closing, just a couple more things. First thing, I'd stay close to your customers. That's important. Do what we call put a bear hug on them. See how you can level them, how you can service them better, what can you do for them. Also, you want to stay conservative. So stay focused on customers and profitability. That's where it's at, because it's hard to predict where our businesses are going to be, over the next week, 2 weeks, month, or 2 months. We just don't know. This environment is completely new. People are acting a bit irrationally, but you don't know how long that's going to last. And we have to deal with what is. Remember, perception is reality. It doesn't matter, exactly how many people have this or have died or what's the situation going to be. In fact, really the issue is in our minds. What have we thought it to be? So make sure you stay focused on your employees, your customers, and your profitability. And then one last thing along these lines that I learned from my father a long time ago. He said that a rabbit never goes too far from its hole. And what he meant there, and I think this is true, he said that rabbits have a series of holes, and they never go too far from any one of those holes. And that's because their holes are how they get away from danger. They can run back and get to their hole, and they want to make sure they don't get too far away from their holes. And in our businesses, we got to be thinking of along those lines as well. What are our escape routes? What are some levers that we pull to cut costs? What are some levers that we pull to stay closer to our customers? What are those things that we can do to be as conservative as possible? Not to shut down the business, but to be as relatively as conservative as possible. Here's the last thing. Here's what I know. This is going to be over at some point, probably sooner rather than later. And there will be businesses that do well. Most businesses will certainly survive this for sure. I think if you do some of the things we talked about today, we'll be sure that your businesses are doing well and thriving and really ready to go when people get finished with their fear and we can put this thing behind us. Listen, call me at any time if you want to talk about what you want to do, or you want to schedule a time. You can do that with Katie. You can reach out to her at 410-893-9100. Her extension is 102. Or you can reach her at Kaddington, that's Kaddington, @plack.com. Or you can reach me directly if you'd like to. If it's something short, you can reach me on my cell phone at 410-404-3360. Hope you have a good day. We're going to get through this together. Take care.